football team via email for more information. Thank you to those who have already supported the football program.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to North Lincoln High School. Tonight, LincolnCounty.com, KTC Broadcasting are bringing you the only game in Lincoln County tonight as the East Rutherford, easy for me to say, good start, East Rutherford Cavaliers come down Highway 74 and how many other routes to North Lincoln to take on the Knights in the final non-conference game before conference play starts next week. Joining me as always is Scott Tudor. Scott, welcome to North Lincoln.
Good evening. Glad to be here.
So tonight we've got the North Lincoln Knights who started off with two 21-20 games, one a victory, one a defeat against West Lincoln and Lincolnton. And East Rutherford, who's 1-2, they beat Bessemer City, got beat quite handily by T.C. Roberson. And then last week lost to
Newton Conover.
Pardon me?
Newton Conover.
Oh yes, Newton Conover in a shootout. So they're 1-2, and they have a weird schedule. They do not have a bye week. They are going to go 10 straight weeks.
Oh, that's interesting. I think they sort of mentioned last year that they had a bye at the last game, even though they, before the playoffs, even though they didn't make it. But that was their bye week. So yeah, kind of an interesting schedule.
Yeah, that was and that's the situation again this year. They don't play the Halloween weekend game, the last game of the season. They will have already completed. They're in a 7-team league, so they're the odd one out there the last week. So you're listening to the stadium pregame show brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, and of course, Lincoln County High School football is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. And joining us, as always, before the game is our coach of the home team, Nick Basil. So we're going to go to that interview now. Enjoy that, and we'll be back with more of the pregame after this. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Now joining us on the Stadium pregame show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, is the head coach of the North Lincoln Knights, Coach Nick Basil. Thanks for joining us on the pregame.
Thank you, David. Pleasure to be here.
Well, we've got your game against East Rutherford tonight, and I want to back up a little bit to last year. You had a lot of injuries and other issues at the end of the season. But there's some things that you did in the off season to maybe address the problem with all the injuries, or is that just part of football?
Well, injuries are definitely part of football. Sometimes you have more. Some years you have more than others. But it was an extreme year for us. One that I've probably the worst I've ever had since I've been coaching, and this is 20 plus. I don't know as far as head coaching goes, but to the point where your squad's so depleted that you're going to have to call on JVs to play. So that's I don't know if it was just bad luck or it could be due to other issues. But whatever, our goal was in the off season was to strengthen these guys and get some weight on them and build them up as much as they could, not just to be stronger on the football field. Of course, that's part of it. But when you're stronger and you build mass and muscle bulk on your body, it makes you a more durable athlete. And durability was the biggest thing that we were going to push for, because I knew what was coming back. And what was coming back was not 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", or even like Bryson Esser, 6'8", 250 to 300 pounders. We don't have those. And we make a living off of 5'9", 180s. And if we were going to continue to be successful or get back on that success side, we were going to have to do something about keeping ourselves healthy. And if we can't put inches on them height-wise, we can pack a little muscle on them, and that's about the only thing we could do. And so we worked them extremely hard in the off season, and it's paid off. We're a little bigger than we were last year. We're not any taller than we were, but we're a little bit bigger. And so, I guess the question mark I have in my mind right now is we were supposed to be getting even more healthy last week in the open date, but we're more banged up now than we were then before the open date. So, I mean, it's just freak stuff. Two kids run into each other doing 7-on-7. Now, one ends up with a concussion and one ends up with a bad shoulder, and both of them are starters. So, I just think we might be hit with a stroke of bad luck for whatever reason, when those things happen. But yeah, that's what we tried to do in the off season. Hopefully that'll help us recover from these two injuries sooner than later.
And looking at your stats from last year, you had quite a few seniors that you lost to graduation. So another reason to get the kids in the weight room is just get these younger kids bigger. So how are the youngsters fitting into all the holes you have to fill?
Well, we were heavy seniors laden as far as numbers go. We weren't heavy senior laden as far as starters go. A lot of our underclassmen were playing last year as juniors, and so just don't let that number of seniors deceive you. Because when you're talking about senior players, you're not talking about 26 senior players. You're talking about 26 seniors total. So these young kids had to play last year, and most of our starters this year. The senior class is really small. We picked up two seniors that did not even play last year that are first-year seniors that are on the team, but we only returned 8 from last year, 8 juniors from last year that were seniors this year. So, those kids certainly benefited from our off-season weight program, and we've seen a lot of improvement there, size-wise, speed-wise, strength-wise. And the younger guys, most of our younger guys that are starting this year were on the offensive line. Our whole offensive line is underclassmen except for one senior, Justin Bassani. And he's the only senior we have, and he's one that fits right into that mold. He's 5'8" or 9", about 180 pounds. And after a game, he's probably about 170. So, that's just what we make our living off of, or at least we have for the past couple of years, and I don't think it's going to change here in the near future.
So you've had 2 games so far. Both have been scores of 21-20, 1 win, 1 loss. What are some of the things you've taken away from your team? Who stood out for you in those 2 games?
Oh man, we've had several kids that have stood out. I guess probably the biggest surprise, or in the whole situation, was our the kicker that we recruited this year from the soccer team, Jake Dillingham. He's 100% on extra points right now, and he's 2 for 3 or 3 for 4 on field goals. A 36, a 37, and he missed a 30-yarder that hit the crossbar against West Lincoln that would have made a difference. That's not the only play that would have made a difference, but that 3 points would have made a difference in that ball game.
Oh, certainly.
There were several plays in there that were difference makers in us winning and losing, but that's just one of them. But he's got a strong leg, and he had never kicked it in his life. And took him out one day during the spring and said, "Let me show you how to do this a little bit. I'm going to teach you the basics. If you're good enough at it and you want to do it, I'll send you to camp, and we'll cover it for you and let you learn from a professional. But you got to promise me you'll kick." And so he did, and the rest is history. He's doing a heck of a job. He's just a junior, so I'll have him again next year. So he's been a big surprise. But I think our whole offensive line has been a surprise, because when you look at the size of us, we've held our own against some people that outweigh us 50 to 75 pounds a person across the front. We didn't match up with West Lincoln up front with those big guys they have.
Oh, they're big in Lincoln too.
Yeah, and Lincoln's the same way. And we were able to move the football, and then held our own defensively for the most part. The bad part about it is those same offensive linemen turn around and go to defense as soon as we have to punt or we have to give the ball up. And over attrition over a 10, 11 game season, whatever, is going to take its toll on us if we can't find somebody to step up and play some of those positions defensively where we don't have to play those guys both ways. But I'm very proud of our offensive line, the way they've moved the ball for us this year. And, and of course, Tyler Donahue and Owen Hammond have been really good for us at A-back spots. And, boy, Ryan Bassani, the linebacker, I guess, if you want somebody that's had a breakout year, man, he's already started with a bang. I mean, he's got over 40 solo tackles in 2 games. And, that's kind of unheard of. So he's on track to have some high numbers. He was an all-conference player last year and led the conference in tackles last year. And
I was about to say that shouldn't be surprised with his play last year. He might have been overshadowed by Ben Cutter over at East Lincoln, but Cutter's off now to West Virginia, and Bassani sounds like he's just taken up the mantle of being a defensive menace.
He is. He's better than he was last year. He's one of the ones that we tried like crazy to get some weight on because he's just an undersized guy. And so he's such a lean person that it's hard to get weight on him. But he played at about 170 last year, and he's playing at 185 this year. So we did get 15 pounds on him, and he doesn't have an ounce of body fat. So it's all put on right. And then we're going to try to get 15 more on him by next year. I'd like to see him weigh about 200 pounds, and he would be a wrecking ball then. But he's just got a really good nose for the ball, and he's a physical kid. And we just want, there again, we got to keep these guys healthy. But, yeah, he's done a good job for us. And I tell you, you asked me about surprise players. We have receivers this year, Aaron Doden, Cam Adams, Dylan Jenkins. We've got several receivers that are doing a heck of a job blocking for us. And in the past, that's been our Achilles heel. We haven't had receivers that have taken pride enough in the blocking part of our offense, which is, if you're going to play for us, they got to be good at that. And these guys have come in this year and just taken the bull by the horns, and they've been doing a great job of blocking. And not only that, they got good hands and can catch it. So, those are the things. I guess those are the position and the players that have been more surprising than most.
So tonight you've got East Rutherford, out of conference opponent again. What do you know about them? They come in at 1-2. Well, they are a whole lot better than their record indicates. That's what I do know. Very, very physical up front on offense. Big up front offensively and defensively. Good speed. They've got some backs and receivers that run hard and run fast. I don't know how to say anything different than what I've told my kids the past 3 weeks. There's not a single game this year that you're going to have a night off on. And every game that you play, because of the situation you're in, you're going to be undersized every week. All right. There's going to be people bigger, there's going to be people faster, and there's going to be people stronger than you. And so every week is going to be a dogfight. You're going to be sore as the dickens every Saturday morning when you wake up. And so this is just going to be another one of those. It's going to be another West Lincoln, another Lincolnton. It's just we got to hit guys that are outweigh us. That we're gonna have to tackle people that are faster than us. And our Achilles heel has been our turnovers, and we're gonna have to stop that. If we don't get that fixed, we're gonna lose more games that we should have won. And we've kept people in games, both the 2 games that we played, due to turnovers. And had we not turned the ball over,
then our record would be 2-0 right now. And so if we do that this Friday, we'll drop the second one because these guys are good enough to beat us. So we're going to have to be at our best and protect the ball.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. Good luck in the game tonight, and thanks for joining us.
David, I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, man.
Who you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the must-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
Wide receiver.
Thank Coach Basil for joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. Some interesting comments on there. I've never heard of a coach going out and recruiting a kicker and paying for camp. I don't know if you've run into that before, Scott.
No, that's kind of unusual. But I guess when you see something that can obviously help your team, you want to do anything that you can for that. And obviously, having a kicker like that obviously helps the team in so many ways. Obviously scoring, so that's kind of great to see. Hopefully, there's a future for that kid, maybe down the road, kicking at the next level.
And we were watching him warm up. He's got a pretty good leg on him. He's also tall. He's not that big yet. He's 6'2", 170 is what they have him listed. So there's still room to put some weight on, which means he probably will kick it further as he gets stronger.
Yeah, I would think. Like I said, he's only been kicking since the spring, basically.
Yeah,
because he was testing them, and that's kicking a football, kicking a soccer ball are obviously two different things. But he looked good. We'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'd probably put him as the best kicker in Lincoln County because there's been so much turnover. Wes graduated theirs. I can't remember if Lincolnton did, and the two kids at East Lincoln both graduated, and they're struggling with their kicking. And he had Liam Sutton here at North Lincoln last year, who was a great all-around athlete. Probably would have been a great soccer player, played a big role on the football team, and then won 2 state championships individually in hurdles and 4x100 relay. Fast, just a fantastic athlete. So it's amazing what kicking can do. I mean, it kept him in the game at West Lincoln. He banged through a 36 and a 37-yard field goal. So we don't often get to talk about a kicker making a big impact like that unless it's usually the last 3 seconds of the game and they either make or miss.
Right. I think we saw a pretty good kicker the first game with South Point. They've got a kicker that maybe
that was Charlie Burstwell,
right.
Burstwell or something like that.
Burt Whistle, right.
Burt Whistle.
So,
okay, thank you. You're right.
Yeah, NC State, I think, is taking a look at him. Obviously, you don't a lot of times get scholarships at the next level. You kind of walk on.
Right.
If they see something, then they maybe can do something academically if it's possible.
Oh, yeah.
And if not,
and
maybe give him a.
And he's just a junior, so they've got another year, but they already got their eye on him. So maybe you'll see him kicking for the Wolfpack someday in the future. It's time now to take a look at a few key players to watch on each team, and we'll start with East Rutherford. I'm at Lincoln. Here's East. That's going to confuse me all night. Here we go. Head coach Philip Russ, second year, 2-11. He was the interim coach last year. This is a program, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, that played great up until 2018, and then just the bottom fell out. We'll get into more of that later. But 1-9 last season. The only win was a win over Madison, and their win earlier this year was over Bessemer City. It's not normally that great a team, so they're still struggling, but they've got some players to watch on that team, specifically the quarterback, Landon Flynn, started the whole year last year, 68 of 166, 107 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That was a freshman. So he's just a sophomore, and he's already thrown for 333 yards this year. So be interesting to see how much he's developed in the offseason, knowing the job's going to be his. And then Mr. Everything for them, Blake McClellan. Blake is a junior. He's been their leading ball carrier, 233 yards, 8 touchdowns. The team's only scored 11. He scored 8 on the ground and 1 through the air. And he's one of their leading tacklers.
Yeah, like you say, we'll find out as we continue to talk about it that, obviously they're building that program, had a great offseason. We mentioned kind of earlier that they didn't have their bye week till the end, but the coach mentioned that 2 weeks later they were in the weight room getting after it. So, this will not be easy for North Lincoln.
And then over on a key player to watch for North Lincoln, they lost a lot of people that were there that you would see in the scorebook last year, but they've got a lot of people back, especially in the on the offensive line. They've got a lot of guys back. They just don't have a lot of depth, and they don't have a lot of size, and that's going to be interesting how they match up with East Rutherford tonight. So we'll take a break right here. We'll be back with more. We'll get into the story of what's going on with the East Rutherford program after this timeout. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersin_kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bugbuster.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Bennett Funeral Services is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and they take this time to wish each of you a successful season. Bennett Funeral Services is family owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit the website at BennettFuneralServices.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 NC Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. They are there for you.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
The Stadium pregame show continues, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. And what we want to do is take a couple minutes here and explore what's gone on with East Rutherford's program. This is a program that was really good for many years. You'd always see them in the playoffs. And as late as 2018, they had a 10-3 season, got to the second round of the playoffs. But then, I don't know if the entire program got COVID or what it was, but they just disappeared, literally.
Dropped off the map. Yeah.
They were 0-7 in the COVID season, and then 2021, they didn't even field a team. We caught Scott and I saw an interview with the coach for the now official coach. He was interim last year, but the coach for East Rutherford, Philip Russ, and he explained what happened. I mean, they had 13 players come out for the 2021 season. 13, and how many do you have to field a team?
You can play with 11, but yeah, I think you need to be at least.
No, I think there's a minimum.
Yeah, there's, I think, somewhere in the 25, 28, somewhere in there. But
yeah.
You're basically just starting a new program at that point. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think you can even,
So the 0-7 just made a mess of things, and now you've got 13 players, and he said 9 were freshmen. Now, some of them are out here now because they stuck with the program, so they went ahead. They just got in the weight room. They tried to work at their numbers. And then finally last year, they had more players. They played the season. They went 1-9 with only 1 win. But they are so young, it's unbelievable. Even now, 2 years later, if you look at their top performers, Blake McClellan Jr., Brandon Pinkerton, sophomore, Landon Flynn, the quarterback, sophomore, Jason, the top 3 tacklers, junior, and one actual senior. This is still a very, very young team. And what we noticed, now he said in the interview, they're up to about 60. So those are good numbers. So it's probably about 30 or so on varsity, 30 on JVs. So they've really done a good job rebuilding the program. But I think it's going to be another year. With these kids, boy, they've got experience.
Yeah, he was super excited for the 2024 season coming up. So obviously this year, I mean, when we mentioned they've already won at beat Bessemer City. Obviously something happened, TC Roberson, probably a much larger school out of the mountains. But then, a barn burner last week against Newton Conover. So, I mean, with the size they have and with the amount of players, I mean, we're standing here right now looking, and they're not small.
Well, that's what we're noticing in the warm-ups here, and what Coach Basil mentioned in the pregame interview is the size for East Rutherford. It is a mismatch if you look at the weight chart. I mean, there were, 4 or 5 guys that were 250 or higher for East Rutherford. You might have a couple that are going to line up on the line for North Lincoln that are even 200 pounds.
Right. We noticed one, even though they had a bye week, they had one of their bigger players got hurt during that bye week. So, yeah, but, obviously North Lincoln's super excited. They've been doing basically the same thing, getting in the weight room, trying to put as much muscle on their frames as they could. But, like I say, we kind of saw a little bit last week with West Lincoln just up front. We'll see how that works today with the size differential between the two.
And the thing is, the offense that the Knights run, it's a quick hitter, quick decision. So if they can hold their blocks for maybe a second or two, and even that might be questionable with a mismatch, it'd be interesting to see if they get run over or whether they can hold their own long enough to spring some guys. Because we know they can throw the ball a little bit, because when they do, they've had some big plays. So we're getting ready to go here. East Rutherford, the Cavaliers will get the ball first. They're going to be going from right to left on your internet dial. And kicking off is the kicker that was recruited and went to camp, Jake Dillingham.
He's been kicking about 50 yards, so it should be coming around the 10 or the 5. We'll see if that holds up.
And he squibs it along the ground. It's picked up by an up-back at the 29-yard line. He returns it 5 yards to the 34. That was returned by number 5, Holden Rector. So they must have been afraid. It looked like McClellan was back there to receive, and if you can keep the ball away from him any chance you can, good luck with that, because he's going to have it most of the night. So Pinkerton is number 21, and McClellan comes out. He's going to be a wide receiver out here to the left, furthest away from the line of scrimmage. And he runs the ball a lot. He's the leading receiver, too, so we expect to see him lined up all over the place just trying to hide him.
Yeah, a little bit like a Swiss Army knife.
Handoff up the middle. Not much there. Stumbles across the 35-yard line out to about the 38, so a gain of 4 there. So Pinkerton on the carry to open the game.
A little bobble on the snap there, but still was able to hold it and pick up a good 3 yards on that play.
So it'll be 2nd and 6. Kind of an eye. Better handoff this time, but not much more. He ran into his lineman at the line of scrimmage, and then a lot of, you're watching behind the play, a lot of help from the defense. Who is that for East Rutherford, number 56?
Trevor Jenkins.
Trevor was very aggressive there. Trevor was 10 yards downfield pancaking one of the defenders for North Lincoln. So
maintained that block.
Yes, he did. So 3rd and 6, no gain on that play. Quick throw. It's out into the side. He's got it to Jason Arrowwood. Arrowwood is going to be held short of the first down, though. So it'll be a 3 and out for the North Lincoln defense right out of the gate.
Yeah, 25, Preston Arbisher did a great tackle there. He forced them to move back towards the line of scrimmage. So he caught it pretty close to 2 or 3 yards short of the first down, but then lost to after the reception.
So the ball will be at the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 5. The gain of maybe about 1 on that pass. Snap gets away. Kick was by Adam Garcia. They're going to let it down, and it keeps rolling and rolling. Nice kick there. Hit about the 25-yard line and rolled out of bounds at the 6. So North Lincoln is going to be penned back deep in their own zone to start out.
Well, we mentioned what a kicker can do for a team. You get a punter that can punt like that, you can flip that field position when needed. And so that was a great job by the punter for East Rutherford.
So they're saying it went out at the 7-yard line, and North Lincoln will come out in their kind of a wing tee offense. They've got a wing back on either side normally. One of them will tend to go in motion, one wide receiver. EY Sipe underneath. He hands off up the middle. There's an opening there, and a quick hitter gets out across. Shannon Wingate with a carry. He gets out across the 20-yard line, and that'll be a Turner Hauser first down for the Knights.
Just straight up the middle play and a lot of speed. So one thing you can counteract with size is, again, make sure you maintain your blocks. Put a head on a hat, but once speed gets through, it's tough to tackle. But great start there for North Lincoln.
So first down at the 22. Handoff up the middle. Nothing much there this time, though. So Wingate gets the first 2 carries. One's very successful, and one isn't.
Yeah, Coach Russ for East Rutherford kind of mentioned number 1 Watkins for his team, and plays middle linebacker, and they predominantly play a 3-4 type of defense, and he plays one of the middle linebackers. If one of the outside kind of plays as the rover type. Great tackle by Watkins.
Keep by Sipe, goes around the left side. Looking to pitch, but that was covered, so he keeps it, goes around the corner, and he'll gain about 4 yards there.
Yeah, they're trying to outnumber East Rutherford with that motion, try to get things flowing one way, and Sipe tried to, thinking about the pitch, but just decided to let that one just play out.
So 3rd and 6. Man in motion. East Rutherford bites on it, jumps into the zone, and that's probably going to be offside against the Cavaliers.
Like number 22, Arrowwood. That's going to make it close to a first down, much manageable.
I think they'll be about a yard short. Yep.
Sort of a motion and stop back to that side that he started that motion on, but couldn't wait to see it because number 11 Arrowwood, as we mentioned, or number 22 Arrowwood jumped offside.
Motion, handoff, Sipe goes around the right side. He's open. He's out across the 50. He's being chased. 40, 30, two after him. He cuts down to the left sideline, and he is just short of the goal line. He's brought down at the 1. Good chase there by C.J. Jackson and Elliott Tisdale to bring him down, but not before. He goes 63.5 yards when they had 64 to the end zone.
No flag.
And as is the case this year, the flag gets picked up. That seems to be the theme this year. So it'll be a 66-yard run by Sipe, the quarterback. And that puts them first and goal at the 1-yard line. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down as they're knocking at the door. Sipe, Bulls behind center. Waiting for the signal. Looks like he's in. Touchdown for the Knights.
Yeah, on the run, it was just a option play to the right. Big hole opened up. The defensive end for East Rutherford bit on the pitch man, and Sipe showed some good speed there on that play. And I'd like to see them finish that off with the man that took it all the way down there. And
yeah, he's probably still trying to catch his breath after that long run, but so he just buries behind the center, and it's a Whitetail Properties of Falston touchdown for the Knights. They're up 6-0, waiting on the James River equipment. Point after touchdown. Jake Dillingham, the left-footed kicker recruited by the Coach Basil off the soccer team, will attempt the extra point. Kick, snap, kick. It's good, and he's got a good leg on that. So on the First Federal scoreboard, with 8:16 to go in the first quarter, North Lincoln 7, East Rutherford 0. We'll be back on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
On the play is Ryan Bassani, number 7.
Back in North Lincoln, Jake Dillingham has kicked off. It went down and was misplayed by Blake McClellan all the way back to the 1-yard line, but he managed to weave his way through the defense and get out to the 16-yard line, so that's not too bad there. It'll be 1st and 10 again for the Cavaliers as they're looking for the first down. Handoff up over the left side. 21, Pinkerton with a carry. And he gets out to the 20-yard line. So a gain of 3 on that play. It's been all Pinkerton to this point. We haven't seen much of McClellan yet.
Yeah, Coach Basil was obviously very praiseworthy of Ryan Bassani, linebacker for North Lincoln. He's had 40 solo tackles already this year in 2 games.
Well, now we see why McClellan's so highly thought of. Quick pass out there in the flat from Flynn out to McClellan. He makes the first tackler miss, goes up the field and gets to the 33-yard line. So that'll be the first completion. And it'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down at the 33. Handoff again up the middle. It's Pinkerton. He's been the workhorse for him so far. He's across the 35 out to the 37-yard line and gain a 4 on that play.
Yeah, they've been testing that left side early. That's probably the 3rd or 4th run to that left side. Let's see if they see something there.
Flynn back, throwing deep. He's got a receiver down the sideline, but he throws it a little too far outside and out of bounds. He was trying to get it to.
Landon Flynn's pass was intended.
No. We're kind of crowded here in the press box tonight. So.
Well, 21 Donahue for
Thank you.
North Lincoln pushed him out to the side. I think that was number 3, C.J. Jackson for East Rutherford, that he kind of forced out of bounds. I don't know if it would have been completed even if it was on target.
No, it looked like it landed out of bounds there, so that'll be 3rd and 6. Flynn back to pass again, throws it out in the flat, and throws it too high for Pinkerton. Sails way past his hand and out of bounds. So again, it'll be 4th down. This time, at least they got 1 first down, but still another short drive, and they're going to be kicking back to North Lincoln.
Yeah, kind of interesting that they're not using that size to kind of push anybody up front. They're not, but North Lincoln's got good speed. They bring a lot of tacklers. They come at them pretty hard. So right now the speed is working more than the size.
High snap. Kick is made by Garcia. And so it's Holden Rector tried to jump over the ball. I think he may have touched it at that point, so it'll be down.
Number 5 for East Rutherford.
Yeah.
Touched it. Tried to do a split. Tried to do a little David Lee Roth action on that one, but couldn't get up high enough. And the ball kicked off his foot.
He tried to do. I think he looked like the Jumpman logo to a little bit. He at least tried to emulate it. He certainly didn't get the height. Yeah. So it'll be 1st and 10 for North Lincoln at their own 44. Much better field position than last time. But then that's never a problem if you go on a 67-yard run. Handoff up the middle. It's Wingate. He gets a couple up the middle, but that's about it. And yeah, what you were saying, I'm surprised East Rutherford hasn't pressed that size advantage up front.
Yeah, 75 Spratt for East Rutherford. One of their bigger up front tackles. Couldn't get pushed off the ball there, made the initial hit, and then Watkins kind of finished him off for a gain of, I don't know, they gave him 2. Must have been a little bit of a lean forward there.
Sipe goes down the line to the left, pitches. He's got it out to Tyler Donahue. Donahue's around the left side, down the sideline, and he's finally forced out of bounds down at the 36-yard line of the Cavaliers. That'll be a 1st down for North Lincoln.
Coach Pisani, I believe, in the pregame interview mentioned how well that the wide receivers block, and that was definite on that play. Wide receiver out wide kept him open.
Well, one of the wide receivers may have blocked a little too well.
Looked like a good block for me, but that was more downfield than I thought than what.
Yeah, I don't see where the flag is down. Holding on the Knights, so that'll wipe out the run.
Yeah, it must have been after the play, spot foul. So.
Yeah, it was way down the field because they actually gained some yardage on that play. I don't know how you credit that. So they get a 10-yard penalty, but does the runner get all that yardage? Yeah. I'm not an expert on stats.
I'm not too sure either, especially when they do spot fouls.
Sipe takes it, looks down the line, then turns it back up, gets across the 50, down to about the 48. So Sipe will pick up about 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and a short 3.
Yeah, I mentioned Spratt earlier, one of the defensive tackles for East Rutherford. Caught him from behind. He plays the right defensive tackle. A 3 technique, maybe a shade off the nose.
North fakes the runner going one of their wing backs, and then he goes back to where he was, see if they could draw Cavaliers offside. Wingate up the middle, and he's going to get the first down. He gets across the 45-yard line. He'll get it by about a yard, so another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights.
That'll be enough for another North Lincoln Knight.
Yeah, that was a little bit more off tackle there. Like I said, the two defensive tackles for East Rutherford were both in the A gaps. I think they recognized that, ran it just a little bit wider, enough to get that Turner Hauser.
So the A gaps are right on either side of the center, correct? So that's why they went a little further outside.
Exactly.
And it worked. They got the first down. Now back to pass to Sipe. He can throw, and he connects. He's got a receiver out there, number 18, Ranger McFarland. There's a great name. Ranging downfield, and he's got the first down at the 29-yard line. So that'll be a 16-yard gain on the first pass of the game for the Knights. Sipe to Ranger McFarland.
Yeah, McFarland just went out about 15 yards. Just did a little, what we used to call back the day, a little button hook. Just went out, turned around, came back to the ball. Throw was perfectly timed. As soon as he turned, ball was in his stomach. Was able to get another 4 or 5 yards after the initial catch.
Sipe under center. Takes it, handoff up the middle. It's Wingate. He's got an opening. He gets across the 20-yard line before he's finally dragged down. And again, it's number 3, Tisdale, I believe. Jackson. Tisdale was number 4. And the Knights are now inside the red zone at the 17-yard line. And that's one thing we've noticed looking at the highlights is the Knights don't throw it often, but when they do a pretty good job, and they tend to get pretty good-sized chunks with it. Sipe, Wingate up the middle. He's going to walk into the end zone. There's a huge hole. Touchdown, Knights. And that looked easy.
Yeah, just a straight, almost a zone play. Zone reads, you just kind of let the lineman go out and just block whatever's in front of him. And there was nothing after those initial blocks, as he was untouched.
So what gets the secondary to part like that? Because there were some over by the sideline, and then everybody else was from the center to the right, and the play went to the left. How do you get them all to move
like
that?
I said, the motion, just brought those guys out a little wide, but they were very aggressive. They got up inside. He must have bit on that initial motion, and a couple went left.
I didn't see.
The motion was going right. So
I didn't see anybody within 10 yards at that point. Snap is a little high. They get it down, and Dillingham pounds it through. So with 4:12 to go in the first quarter, North Lincoln has jumped out to a 14-0 lead. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting.
Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Work, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent, and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 Right Hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com. Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control.
North Lincoln now, Knights in their first home game have jumped out to a 14-0 lead. 2 good drives. Kick goes down to about the 2-yard line. Nice return, tackled by Cole Ellis. The 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers at their own 32-yard line. Again, let's see if they actually try to run a little more and take advantage of their size. And a handoff up the middle. Not much there, but he does manage to get out to the 35. Gain of 2.
Number 11, Blake McClellan on the carry.
So McClellan finally gets his first carry of the night.
Number 7, Bassani with the tackle.
And as you heard in the pregame, he's now bulked up all the way to 185. He did what he did last year at 170, which is amazing. He's all over the place. Handoff comes around the left side. Plays turned back inside by number 7, Bassani. And it's cleaned up by the rest of the North Lincoln defense. Another gain of about 3 on that play.
And Bassani forced that up inside, and number 50, one of the defensive tackles for North Lincoln, maintained his spot, got after the ball, and made it a good tackle.
3rd and 3 for the Cavaliers. Handoff straight up the middle. It's Pinkerton again, and he's going to be short if they spot it correctly. Wilson. Depends on which spot they go with, the far official or the close one. The close one was at the 42. The one on the far side was at the 41, so he's short by a yard. It'll be 4th down.
Looks like they're going for it. Sometimes that's a right foot, left foot spot there with the officials.
Not surprising here. You're already down 2. Let her rip. And Pinkerton up the middle. He's got a hole. He's got the first down. The ball comes out. But it was after he went down to the turf. He had his legs cut out from him pretty good.
Yeah, number 5, Adams, one of the corners for North Lincoln, just took his legs right out. I think he might have lost his wind, but yeah, as we mentioned, the ground caused that fumble. But an aggressive play there by the East Rutherford. Now, we heard that Coach Russ is not with the team this week, as there was maybe an incident last week in the game. Had to take this week off.
Handoff going around the outside. This one's to C.J. Jackson. So Jackson with another carry. And he gets around the right side, but only back to the line of scrimmage. So a good play by the North Lincoln defense there after giving up a 12-yard run for a first down. Handoff up the middle. And it's to Jackson, number 3 again, as Pinkerton is out of the game after that hit. He went off the field.
Yeah, like you say, I don't know if he landed on the ball or he had his legs taken out, landed awful hard on this turf. I don't know how soft the turf is. I know it's new turf. Doesn't mean it feels good when you hit it.
I'm not sure anything feels good when you get hit, but that's just me. So a dive play up the middle, and it's going to be 4th down again. Not many yards on that play for Jackson. He's taken a couple snaps in a row. And he gains about 3, so 4th and 2.
And again, at this time, all the feeder staff and
yeah, a little bit of momentum here with the East Rutherford offense. We said using that size going right at the teeth of the defense for North Lincoln.
Quick snap to McClellan in the backfield in a wildcat, and it does not work. He hesitates a little bit, tries to go around the right side, and the North Lincoln defensive line works their way in there and makes the play. And they're going to turn it over on downs with 45 seconds left in the first quarter.
There was Bassani again. He was not fooled at all by that wildcat. They put 2 big fullbacks in front of the wildcat, and then they went wide with it. So, like I say, he was not going straight at the North Lincoln defense.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. North Lincoln again with the ball. Quick pitch to the outside. Nice play catching the ball. Gets outside across the 50. Owen Hammond. Good play by him. That pitch was behind him. He turned his body, caught it, and then continued forward. And he goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line of East Rutherford. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Knights. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down, as the Knights have ripped off quite a few first downs. And we're just 38 seconds left in the first quarter.
Mentioned the blocking of the receivers for North Lincoln. It was a great block there by number 21, Donahue for North Lincoln. Was allowed him to get out to the outside.
Hand off to Wingate, up over the right side. He's got the ball. He gets to the 40-yard line, so he'll gain about 8 yards on that play. And that might be the last play of the first quarter.
Pick up a bait, brings up a 2nd down and 2.
So we're going to see if there's about a 10-second differential, and North is walking over to the sideline I don't think this is going to be Bandy's Lincolnton where they run a trick play right at the end. If you weren't at that game last year, that was crazy. So that's the end of the first quarter. The score, North Lincoln 14, East Rutherford 0. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Beginning of the second quarter. High school football brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. And North runs the ball up the middle. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but does manage to work his way past the marker for the first down for the Knights.
Great aggressive play there, but Lower Pad won that one and was able to get that Turner Hauser first down.
I'm not saying the press box is cold, but the window outside is frosting, and I've got a jacket on in the middle of summer, so Sight pulls it out, pitches. He's got it out too, and he's got a touchdown. That was another well-done play by Eli Sight. Pulls it out of the belly and runs down the line, pitches to Tyler Donahue, and he scores from about 25 yards out, and it's turning into a route quickly here.
Yeah, I had it at a 37-yard touchdown.
37?
Yeah, but he was not touched. I mean, I don't know how you go off the end and get untouched into the end zone. That's the second touchdown they've had where the only thing that was in front was the end zone.
I mean, there was a lot of green there and no white and red of the Cavaliers. So Dillingham on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and he pounds it through again. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, with 11:36 to go in the first half, North Lincoln 21, the Cavaliers 0. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Dillingham is kicked off for the Knights. Ball was fielded at the 20 or the 10-yard line by Adam Pinkerton. Is it Adam?
I think that's right. Kicker showed a little bit of speed there. Maybe got out of his containment.
Brandon.
The safety valve.
Brandon Pinkerton. There's two on there. It's like every week. It seems like there's
Brothers or cousins.
brothers or cousins or God knows what. So he gets a good return. Dillingham, on the tackle. But they have it 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of the Knights. Handoff, fumble in the backfield, and they have to fall on it. Bad exchange in the backfield. Tried to get the ball to McClellan, but he fumbled, and they lose 4 yards on the play.
You might have seen number 66 for North Lincoln there, Justin Pisani coming in, but bad exchange on that one.
The Pisani family having an effect early. Handoff up the middle to McClellan again. He breaks through the first tackle, but basically just gets back the yardage they lost on the first down play. So that'll be 3rd and 10 for the Cavaliers, and they're going a little quickly here. They're back up at the line of scrimmage.
You need to change the pace. Have to be down 21-0.
You're down 21, you need to change something. Snap, handoff to McClellan. He goes over the right side, a little bit of an opening, but it closes quickly. Bassani on the tackle, but he loses his hat, and he'll have to come out on 4th down.
That's number 7, the linebacker Bassani. Made a good hit, but buckled his chin strap there, popped right off, and the helmet went with it.
So it'll be 4th and 7. Ball is at the 30-yard line. Let's see what they want to do here. McClellan has walked all the way over to the sideline, is standing on the edge, and he'll wind up wide. You only have one defender over on that side and 2 players. They're throwing it deep. They got someone open. It's caught, and it's hauled in by McClellan. He beats his own man for the touchdown. Before that play started, I was pointing out there were 2 wide receivers on the far side of the field. McClellan had walked to the sideline, almost kind of a decoy. And there was only one defender for the Knights over there. And McClellan goes down the sideline, hauls it in for a touchdown. And it's 21-6 pending the extra point by Ian Queen.
Yeah, the closest person there was number 22 for East Rutherford, Garcia. And so either one of them could have caught it.
And he pretty much ran over him. So the snap is good, the kick is good, and it is now 21-7 on the First Federal scoreboard. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from West End Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com, serving this area since 1974.
Now Ian Queen kicking off for Cavaliers. Ball's caught at about the 9-yard line. Across the 20, 30, down the sideline. And it's caught, the return, nice one by Alex Duncan. He went up the center, then broke it out to the sideline. Got all the way to about the 34-yard line, the 39-yard line. I'm sorry, I'm looking through a frosted window here.
I see that. 36.
So they will.
Kicker made the play on that one, the safety. If he wasn't there, he would have scored.
So the North Lincoln Knights will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Cavalier 36-yard line. as they look to answer the first touchdown of the night by East Rutherford. Reset to the right side of the formation. Handoff up the middle. Wingate gets across the 35-yard line.
Carry on the play by number 3, Shannon Wingate. Stop on the play by number 52, Quincy Hunter. And number 75.
And a gain of 3 on that play. Got some scores from other games we'll go through here in a second. Any surprises?
We got Burns 22, Alexander Central 7, North Gaston 14, Cherryville 0, Drawn 14, Chase 7, North Lincoln 14, that's us, East Rutherford, that's a little bit late.
Sipe goes around the side, pitches. He's got Donahue out on the side. He's going down the sideline. He gets inside the pylon, waiting for a signal. Touchdown, Knights. Another great pitch by Sipe, and Tyler Donahue just flies down the sideline. And that'll be a 30-yard touchdown run. And already we've only played 15 minutes of football, and North Lincoln has 4 touchdowns.
Well, the speed is definitely beating the brawn on this particular moment. They're getting on the outside. East Rutherford is just seeing something up the middle. They're biting hard on those fake dive plays, and then going on the quarterback Sipe, and then outside is absolutely wide open.
So after the whitetail touchdown, Dillingham with his 4th extra point of the night, it's good. And with 8:52 to go in the second quarter, North Lincoln 28, East Rutherford 7. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Again by Dillingham. It's a good thing he's used to soccer. He's going to get a workout with his leg, it looks like, from tonight between extra points and kickoffs. Brandon Pinkerton with a 10-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what East Rutherford is looking at, but they're giving North Lincoln's offense way too much room.
Little pass out into the side. Ball is caught and stripped and recovered by North Lincoln. The recovery was made by number 10, Aaron Doden. Pass was complete to number 3, C.J. Jackson. Jackson got out in space, got hit. The ball was stripped out. And
number 5, Cam Adams, the corner for North Lincoln, got his arm in there, stripped it. And now things are going from bad to worse for East Rutherford.
Yeah, you just gave up a touchdown. You get the ball, you throw a nice pass out in the flat, and ball goes flying up in the air on a strip, and it's recovered by North Lincoln.
I'm going to finish off some of these scores here. We got East Gaston 7, Ashbrook 0, Shelby 7, Olympic 7, Hickory 7, Cox Mill 0, Maiden 30, St. Stephen's 6. Bandy's 14, South Caldwell 0, and South Point 7, High Brighton 0.
McKenna Kale, Hannah Lee.
So a 7-yard completion, then the ball is stripped and recovered. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. They'll have it at the 34-yard line of the Cavaliers. And they're looking for yet another touchdown here. And they have done some damage up the middle, but they've really done some damage. Tyler Donahue, he get him out on the flat around the corner with the ball. He's been deadly. He's got runs of 30, 37, and 11 yards. His 3 carries tonight, and 2 have gone to the house.
Yeah, it's almost like East Rutherford's just putting everything outside. I don't even see a safety in the middle of the field.
Sight back to pass. He's got Tyler Donahue again wide open down the left sideline, and it's a touchdown.
Well, as I mentioned, like I said, there's nobody in the middle of the field, and they must, obviously, the coaches up here in the press box see it as much as we do, and they're just taking full advantage of whatever kind of defense East Rutherford's trying to run. I don't understand what they're trying to do there. It's like they're not playing with just linebackers and defensive linemen because there's nobody back.
So that's another Whitetail Properties touchdown for the Knights. Dillingham on for the James River Equipment point after touchdown. He's 4 for 4. Snap, hold, and it's up and good. So with 8:33 to go in the first half, North Lincoln now in command, 35-7. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week. And
make this the summer event.
Already.
I don't know if they've been doing that all game, but I haven't seen a safety. There's no safety up there.
That was what, first play?
That was the only play, yeah.
Make this the summer event is underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Now get $3,250 total cash on select new 2023 Dodge Durango models. Plus get $750 bonus cash when financed through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. And make this the summer event. Introducing $500 retail consumer cash on all new 2023 Dodge Hornet models. The Make This the Summer event. Underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street, Lincoln. Bennett Funeral Services is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and they take this time to wish each of you a successful season. Bennett Funeral Services is family owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit the website at BennettFuneralServices.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 NC Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. They are there for you.
The 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers, who have now given up 2 touchdowns in 19 seconds and 5 in 16 minutes.
Yeah, for East Rutherford defensively, they're in essence playing without a safety. So when they're trying to stop that run, if the runners get by that first initial line of scrimmage, first couple of yards, they've been going in untouched.
Handoff up the middle, trying to use their size, but they don't move them very far. It looks like he ran into the back of the line pretty much, and he only gained 2 yards. So it's not a real good surge we're seeing for East Rutherford, at least at the moment.
Yeah, like I said, they have size, but they're not doing a good job moving anybody. Of course, they're very aggressive in the linebacker core for North Lincoln.
Flynn rolls out to the left on 2nd down, throws it into the flat. He had a receiver who juggled the ball. It was number 22.
Sanchez, I believe. He was the
Sanchez.
one you mentioned earlier that was the only other receiver or person close to the only East Rutherford score.
Yeah, so Jason Arrowwood, I believe. He catches, juggles it, and then gets lit up, and the ball's separated, so it'll be 3rd down. Flynn tries to get the snap off, and a flag comes from the umpire behind. It's not a delay of game.
Got a false start against the Cavaliers.
Okay, I did not see a signal. Did you?
Yeah, it was a false start.
Okay, it was a false start penalty. So 3rd and 8 now becomes 3rd and 13. And not only are you not moving the ball, now you're behind the chains. Flynn back, He's being charged by Bassani. Throws over the middle, throws into coverage, trying to get C.J. Jackson. It falls incomplete. But there were 4 Knights not too far from that. He really tried to thread the needle there.
Yeah, kind of a force. As you mentioned, Bassani came in on the linebacker blitz, and 13 Folk was back at the safety position, and it was a good thing he dropped it because I think he would have been lit up, and it might have been a pretty big collision back.
And it wasn't going to be enough for the first down either.
Right.
So Adam Garcia will be in to punt again for the Cavaliers. Gets the kickoff. Decent kick. Fair catch called for by number 13, Tim Folk. And it'll be 1st and 10 for North Lincoln at the 44-yard line. Were there any other scores, or do we get to them?
Yeah,
I'm having a little trouble hearing tonight.
Yeah, we
got a lot of people.
Haven't heard anything in the last little while. I think you kind of mentioned that the Bandy's 14, South Caldwell score was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, Bandy's has looked better this year. They're 3-0, I believe, or 2-0. They had their bye week last week instead of this week, and playing South Caldwell, which is usually a pretty big team size-wise.
Well, good to see East Rutherford with looks like a safety back there on this initial drive start.
Sipe keeps it, pitches out. Got a runner to the outside again. Looks like Tim Folk with the ball. He gets across the 50-yard line to the 49, and that will be a gain of 6 on that play. And they're just grinding him out, and then all of a sudden they explode for the big play, either running or passing. They've done it both ways tonight.
Yeah, like you say, they're staying away from the interior of that East Rutherford defense, just attacking those edges. Good play calls and then great decisions by Sipe. He's been impressive for.
Yeah, he's done a great job, whether to leave it in the belly of Wingate or take it outside and keep it, or make the pitch. This is like going back to my Oklahoma Wishbone days a bit. You got the 3 options. Big pitch to Tyler Donahue. He's out on the right side in a little bit of space. He's going to be close to the first down. And they've got him to the 45-yard line. That'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights.
Yeah, they had 3 wide receivers and a slot to that side. Lone running back and just ran a simple toss to the wide side of the field with all those blockers out there. Not a bad job there by number 24, Dixon, for East Rutherford to kind of fight through all those blockers and at least make the stop. Normally they've been getting free out on the outside.
Sipe has the ball, hands it off to Wingate up the middle. He's got an opening. He's across the 20, the 10, and he's finally brought down from behind. Tackle's made by number 4,
Tisdale.
Elliott Tisdale, who tried to save the touchdown on the first drive when he ran down Sipe from behind after a 67-yard run. But it's going to be another first down for the Knights.
First and goal, just inside the 10, 9.5-yard line.
So Wingate there with a run of about 23 yards. He gets it down just inside the 10. As Scott said, first and goal for the Knights. Looking to put another touchdown on the board. It'll be the 3rd one already this quarter. Handoff up the middle. Wingate again. Gets it down to about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that time they got to try to test that interior of the East Rutherford defense, and number 75, Spratt, for the Cavaliers, was able to bring him down after a 2-yard gain.
So 2nd and goal at the 6. Basically 10 yards for a touchdown. They were right inside the line. So still 2nd and goal. Sipe takes it. This time he's spun around in the backfield, but manages to work his way down to the 5. So he didn't lose yardage when it looked like he might, and actually ended up gaining a yard.
Yeah, East Rutherford that time was able to penetrate a little bit, force Sipe to just hang on to that. Again, but good decision. Don't force a pitch. Don't try to do something with it. And like you say, just lean forward and get that yard.
I'm not sure he could see anybody to pitch to because there were 4 defenders around him. I'm not sure he had vision to see who to pitch to. He did a good job getting one out of it. So 3rd and goal now from the 5-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to go in a half. Sipe throws on a slant pattern. He's got it. Touchdown. Catch is made by number 10, Aaron Doden for a touchdown. So a 5-yard touchdown pass. And North Lincoln has just exploded offensively.
Well, with East Rutherford kind of playing that run, they were up on the line of scrimmage and to the wide side of the field. Just a simple little 2-step slant, wide open, good pass there by Sipe. Another touchdown.
He's a good thrower. He's done a great job. He's 3 for 3. And snap dribbled back to number 4, Eli Sipe. He put it down. Dillingham pounds it through like nothing happened. So with 4:58 to go in the first half, on the First Federal scoreboard, it's North Lincoln 42, East Rutherford 7. We'll be back with more on the Lincoln County Game of the Week. All right, Jan said my mic's not here.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup. Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincolnton, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
Gets it down to about the 2-yard line. Blake McClellan fumbles it, picks it up, and is able to return it to the 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers, who we thought the size might work well for them. Well, you can be as big as you want to be, but if you can't catch the other team, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we can say speed's been killing tonight. I mean, they're just getting to the outside. And we mentioned they're sort of stacking the line a little bit, trying to stop that North Lincoln running attack, and they just, once they get by the initial line of scrimmage, there's no way they can catch them. I mean, like I said, a few times they've just taken the safety and just brought them right down, almost like a outside linebacker rover type, and have not been able to do anything. And when they did, again, when they recognize that safety's out of the middle of the field, they've attacked it with the pass.
Wow, this isn't the only blowout. We're hearing some scores elsewhere in the press box. Maiden just killing St. Stephen's 50-12. Bandy's 35-0 over
South Caldwell.
South Caldwell is normally a pretty good team and usually quite sized. Pass out in the flat, complete to C.J. Jackson on 1st down. He breaks the first tackle, but gets out to the 20-yard line, gain of 6.
Yeah, we've called that play a few times this year. That's just basically a long run, just a quick little pass out to the slot. Was able to break the tackle, and able to pick up 6 yards, and Ryan Bassani, again, the linebacker, making the tackle for North Lincoln.
Yeah, he's ranging way to the outside to make that play. The first guy slowed him down, then he made the tackle. Now a handoff up the middle. Handoff to 21. Brandon Pinkerton.
Yeah,
and he's
again just hunkered down in the middle of the field, just shot that gap.
And after the play, Pinkerton was a little slow to get up and then hobbles off to the sideline. So he'll be replaced. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 after Pinkerton gains a couple yards on that play. Handoff up the middle. The other Pinkerton, Matthew, but he's stopped for no gain.
Yeah, number 11 there just shot the gap, came from the left defensive end, just came straight down the line of scrimmage and was able to hold him a no gain. Timeout looks like here for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, so we've got 3:24 to go. We're going to keep it here. A very light schedule in high school football. Most teams have their bye week because next week conference play starts in earnest and everywhere else in North Carolina.
Yeah, we'll be up in Hickory next week when we're covering East Lincoln versus Hickory.
I think we've had a change in schedules. I don't think we have to go to Hickory, which that's
okay.
good news.
Yeah, well, guess we could save on the gas mileage next week.
We won't be able to bill KTC for miles per
diem.
Darn
Per
it.
diem in that.
If you go that far to Hickory, we should get per diem, definitely. I don't think they're going to go for that.
Did they say where we were going?
I've got it here somewhere, but I'm not sure how far it's buried down in my list of text messages that go back and forth. So I'll try and look that up here. I just know that changed.
Well, I got to remember I'm the other guy, so you know that.
Yeah. No, this is Scott. He's not the other guy. He is an equal partner here. It's great to have him here this year. So Garcia back to punt. High snap. He barely corrals it and gets the kickoff. Gets it barely past the line of scrimmage. Picked up. Ryan Bassani picks it up off the bounce. He's like, what the heck? Here's the ball. I'm going to run with it. And he gets a couple yards on the return down to the 26.
Really was about a 3-yard punt. But, again, great just to get it off. I would have been surprised if they didn't call like an illegal lineman downfield on it, but it was just so close to the line.
I think
anybody was anywhere.
I think at that point the officials went, fine, he got it off. We're not going to call anything. It was amazing he caught that because it was over his head, and he tipped it back to himself. So here we go. North Lincoln trying to see if we can get the running clock going here in the first half. Handoff up the middle. Wingate struggles through the first tackle, and then he's brought down after a short gain. So a gain of, we'll call it 3 on that play.
Yeah, just another one of those straight dive plays, see what they can get. You got to remember, they also get the ball to start the second half.
Oh, my goodness. That's great news for East Rutherford. No, it's not. So 2nd down and 7. Handoff in the background. That's what we thought we might see out of the linemen tonight. Shannon Wingate was destroyed in the backfield.
Yeah, Landon Sprite just came shooting through. Again, we've been talking about the A-gap in between the guard and the tackle. He was just able to shoot right through, and he almost got that hand off himself there on that one.
That's the first time tonight we've seen somebody finally shoot through, and that's a big young man that came through, and he came through quick. But if they can beat blocks like that, they can disrupt the timing of this offense, but they have not done that at all tonight.
No, like I say, they've been attacking sort of towards the tackle on the outside, using their speed.
Side drops back, center screen up the middle, and it's going to work. Catch is made by number 10, Aaron Doden. Great play call there. They just let the whole defense come flooding in, and then they throw the middle screen. Doden takes it down to the 9-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Knights. Inside 2 minutes to go in the first half as they look to put a lucky 7 up. 7 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't see middle screens in high school, but that was a great job there. Great play call. Let him shoot through, just throw it over the top. Another great decision by Sipe.
So gain of about 20 on that play. Handoff up the middle. This time it's going to number 6, Cole Ellis, who's in for Wingate at this point.
On the carry, number 6, Cole Ellis. Stop on the play by number 75, Liston Spratt. And number 52, Quincy.
So that play gets a couple yards. It'll still be 2nd and goal now. Ball at the 7-yard line after Ellis gains about 2 on that play.
2nd and goal from the 7.
Inside a minute to go in the first half. Sipe takes it, goes down the line, keeps it. He's trying to get to the end zone, breaks the tackle, and he holds it out. Did he get across the line? They're marking him down at the 1.
Almost a half yard. Knee just hit as he was getting ready to stretch across the line.
He had the ball out in his arm, but the knee hit, as you said, and he came up just short on that one, so a gain of 6 on that play when it looked like he was stacked up at the line.
That's what they, a lot of times the line or the sideline will yell weight room on that one.
15 seconds left in the half. Sipe, hands off up the middle. And this time they are signaling. Did anybody signal touchdown?
Yeah, the near side judge.
All right. Oh, and of course the fire department now signals it as the big blue fire engine lights up for yet another North Lincoln touchdown. Touchdowns are brought to you by, what'd I do with my sheet? Help me out, Scott. Help me out.
Sorry.
There it is. Touchdowns are brought to you by Whitetail Properties of Another interesting snap. Sipe gets it down, and boy, Dillingham doesn't get flustered as he pounds it through. And with 13 seconds to go in the first half, it's 49-7 North Lincoln. We're going to keep it here as the half is about to end. Let's see what we've got for some other scores here, Scott.
Okay, we've got Forest Hills and CS Davidson 0, Mountain Island Charter 21, South Lake Christian 7, Watauga and AC Reynolds tied at 7, South Point 14, High Brighton 7, Bunker Hill 45, Hickory Hawks.
I think that's 6. A homeschool team.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Hickory 28, Cox Mill 0, Maiden 43, St. Stephen's 12, Bandy's and South Caldwell still 14-0 there. I think we had that earlier.
We heard that 35-0 for somebody else, so we're not sure about that one.
Burns 28, Alexander Central 7, North Gaston 21, Cherryville 7, Shelby 20, Olympic 7, Drown 27, Chase 13, East Gaston still 7-0 over Ashbrook. Landrum 21, Polk County 7, our Central tied with Chesney 7-7, and Bessemer City 15, Union Academy 3.
Well, this is one you don't see often. Dillingham with a squib kick down the middle of the field, goes down the 1 hash mark, and both East Rutherford guys thought the other one was going to get it. Start running up the field. It goes between them. McClellan peels back and watches it go into the end zone. So it will be a touchback on a squib kick.
I think volleyball, they call that the optional ball. It's either you get it or I get it, and then nobody gets it.
Yeah, nobody did. It went in the end zone. So with 11 seconds left, it's first down at the 20. Handoff goes to number 10. Matthew Pinkerton. And he runs out of bounds with 4.8 seconds to go.
And Folk on the outside for North Lincoln. Playing one of the outside linebackers, rover position, made the tackle for North Lincoln.
Another handoff. They're just running out the half here. And that will be the end of the first half. Dynamite first half. I'm not sure North Lincoln could do anything better. That's probably as good a half as you're going to see out of a high school team. So as they go to the locker room, it's halftime here at North Lincoln. The score, North Lincoln 49, East Rutherford 7, 8 touchdowns, 7 by the Knights in the first half. So we'll be back with the stadium halftime show after this timeout. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun.
Presley Smith.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of
It's ultimate comfort.
driving range and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing.
Brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. And I've just made a command decision here. I am not going through every touchdown for North Lincoln in that first half because that would take up the rest of the half to do it. Just suffice to say, it's been North Lincoln, North Lincoln, North Lincoln, and more North Lincoln. And just they've dominated the game. They've dominated not the line of scrimmage, but getting around the line of scrimmage. It's been amazing.
Yeah, they've sort of attacked off tackle for the most part, and when East Rutherford has come up to try to make some stops, they left the middle of the field open, and some big pass plays towards the middle of the field has just allowed North Lincoln just to move the ball at will. So they did a good job in their off week, probably looking at film, and I don't know if they went and scouted the game last week with East Rutherford in that game that they played.
I imagine they did against Newton Conover. It was right up the road, I think. I think it was at Newton Conover.
Right. So, I mean, the coaches have done great play calling, and North Lincoln is just running any play that they want at will.
So, based on our pregame interview with Coach Basler, we shouldn't have believed the thing he said about the size advantage because he had a plan, it looks like.
Yeah, coaches have a tendency just to downplay things a little bit, not to try to give too much away, but the weight room has worked. I mean, it's obviously increased some speed a little bit. But again, they've done a great job play calling, attacking the spots that East Rutherford has been trying to stop. Like I said, I think you and I both expected it to be a little bit closer than it is.
Well, they've not stopped the running game, and that is the bread and butter for North Lincoln. If you look at the stats here, North Lincoln has 3 guys all over 80 yards. You've got Wingate, who has most of his yardage up the middle, and he had a big run there, a 23-yard and an 18-yarder. Then you've got Sipe, who busted out on the first drive with a 66-yard run that got down to the half-yard line, and then he punched it in for a touchdown. And then you've got Tyler Donahue, who's just been a dynamic on the corner. He's got 4 carries for 82 yards. It's pretty amazing. So I've got North Lincoln right at 255 yards rushing.
And most of those, just been some good plays up the middle, but mostly just those off tackle, wide sort of plays, and a couple of those touchdowns, they were untouched.
And so you've got 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns for North Lincoln. On the other side, you've got East Rutherford, and other than one real drive, they haven't done much of anything. I've got them at 30, 40, about 45 yards rushing. That's it. And you look at the size of East Rutherford, you figure they're just going to line it up and try and push North Lincoln into their own end zone. Just, you thought it was going to be Michael Orr from the blind side. Just block the guy until you put him over the back fence. But that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, they tried a little bit early trying to go right at North Lincoln, but North Lincoln's just, filling the gaps, forcing those runners to go a little bit outside, and they get stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and there's nowhere to go. Again, we're sort of surprised why they're not just pushing them back, but they're getting their leverage, stacking that line of scrimmage, and then Cavaliers have absolutely nowhere to go.
And this is a team that only ran for 655 yards last year in 10 games. They did not have a rushing attack last year, and from the looks of things, they're struggling this year. They've thrown the ball pretty decently. Quarterback Landon Flynn is 4 of 8 for 54 yards, and he had the 30-yard touchdown pass on almost a trick play with McClellan.
Yeah, he went, as you mentioned, you sort of were discussing it. He went over to the sideline, kind of made it look like they were going to either call a timeout or just, maybe let the clock run out and I'm going to try a field goal or get a punt. But, then they just turned around, snapped the ball, and I'm not sure North Lincoln was even ready.
Oh, they definitely weren't.
As we
You're
mentioned,
right.
because the closest guy to it was a teammate of his, Sanchez, that they sort of, like you said, sort of fought for the ball as McClellan made the catch and then was just walk in the end zone.
And I'm not sure why I was drawn to that, but I was just watching McClellan. I was like, why is he going out of the game? And then he just stops a yard short of the sideline. It's like, because he can't step out and then come back in. And at that point, you've got 2 players for the Cavaliers, 1 for North Lincoln. And the 2 for the Cavaliers were the closest to the football by the end of it. It was kind of strange, but it was the only score of the night. And so at this point, North Lincoln still has only given up about 100 yards offense. So for being outsized, tell me if this is what you're seeing. The North Lincoln defensive line seems to be doing just enough to stand up whoever's there, and that's letting Bassani and company, the linebackers, just roam free, and they have done the job.
Exactly. Like I said, we sort of mentioned it. Yeah, they're just, I don't know, they're just that weight room that, that they've been obviously hitting hard over the summer is obviously paying off. Must be that lower part because, like I say, they're not getting any, Cavaliers are not getting any push. They're not able to push them off the line at all. Like I say, North Lincoln's just stacking it up and then letting that speed that they show on offense on the defensive side and able to just get up in the face of the Cavaliers, make good plays, force things wide, and then just make good tackles.
So that's how the first half went, and it was all North Lincoln Knights except for maybe about a 2-minute stretch where they had the drive for the Cavaliers. So at halftime now, it is 49-7. We're going to start with a running clock in the second half, and North Lincoln's going to have the ball first. So you're listening to the Stadium Halftime Show brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings. We'll take another timeout here while the East Lincoln Band is on the field with their very intricate halftime show. We've got, it looks like they built a castle out in the middle of the field somewhat. So we'll be back with more after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also check their website out at unrivaledmetalbuildings.com. If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the must-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup: Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com.
Back here at North Lincoln, halftime is just about over. I did make a mistake on our game next week. We will be going up to Hickory to see the Red Tornadoes against the East Lincoln Mustangs in the opening of Western Foothills 3A conference play. Everybody will be gunning for East Lincoln. They've now won 19 straight games. 16 last year and 3 to open this year. And Hickory was one of the teams that probably gave them the most trouble in conference last year. I think it was like 28-12, and it wasn't that close. It was one of those ones where Hickory got a couple late scores and stuff, but I'm sure everybody will be gunning for the Mustangs as much as they can.
Yeah, I think they were sort of thinking if anybody was going to give East Lincoln some trouble, that Hickory might be one of the teams in the conference that'll do it. Should be an interesting game. With East Lincoln, yeah, like you said, coming on up. They're off this week, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, not too many games around the state tonight. Seems to be the traditional bye week. North took theirs last week, and East Rutherford does not get one until the last week of the season. And like last year, if their record's like last year, that will be the end of their season 1 week early. So the teams are back on the field, loosening up, as seems to happen a lot. They add another 3 minutes on to halftime. So we're waiting as the teams loosen up. We'll take another quick timeout here, a short timeout. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the must-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
Back here at Pumpkin Center, home of the North Lincoln Knights, and an offensive juggernaut in the first half. By my count, about 330 yards offense between running and passing. They were never, was there a play that they lost yardage on? I think there was one, and I think that was it.
Yeah, that's what 75, I believe.
Yep, the one play right before the half. That was the only play they lost yardage on the whole half. That's just amazing in a high school game.
And I remember they had the turnover. That was a short field, and I remember they had a short field. I think after the punt, that was bobbled by the Cavaliers. So to have 330 yards still at the half is pretty impressive.
And their very first drive was about 4 plays, 94 yards, because they had let the punt bounce at the 25-yard line. It rolled all the way down and out of bounds at the 6. And you were saying, flipping the field, the kicking game can help out. It didn't slow down North Lincoln at all. Normally, conventional wisdom is, pin them down to 6. That's great. Nothing has stopped North Lincoln tonight, not themselves and not East Rutherford.
No.
So we're getting ready. The third quarter is about to get underway. Remember, Lincoln County Game of the Week is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. And North Lincoln will get the ball first. The stop button has been removed from the clock. It'll be a running clock the second half here.
Yeah, it'll stop on timeouts and change of the quarter.
That's about it. Usually that sounds like what you'd see with a West Lincoln, North Lincoln game, because both teams run the ball. It doesn't get on the ground very much, and so their clock keeps running. So Tim Folk and Shannon Wingate back for the Knights. Ian Queen will kick off for the Cavaliers. And we'll see. It's 8:53. We'll see how long this 12 minutes takes. Ball goes to Folk. He catches it at the 15-yard line. He goes up the middle. He's got an opening. It's a great return. He's across the 50. The kicker's back. Ian Queen was backpedaling. Queen is not very large. He looks like a kicker, but he stuck his head in there and made the tackle on Tim Folk, who had a head of speed.
Yeah, Folk, I don't know. He just was going, I'm not going to go around. I'm going to go through. He thought maybe the kicker would get out of his way, but great job there. Are we coming back? A lot of times it's a hold or a block in the back or something back here. But
Ian Queen went over to the bench, and everybody is coming over and patting him on the shoulder or on the helmet. They're proud of their kicker getting in there and making a tackle. So the long return is wiped out. A holding call way back at
23.
At the 32-yard line, so the penalty will move it back. And that's another thing we haven't had a lot of tonight. There haven't been a lot of penalties. That's only the third one of the game for East Lincoln.
Looks like they spotted it at the 23.
So they lose about 50 yards technically on that between the return and the penalty yardage. That'll be 1st and 10 at the 23. And we have a new quarterback in for the Knights. Tanner Ayers, backup quarterback, is now in the game. He carries the ball for the first time.
75, Liston Spratt.
So Tanner Ayers keeps the ball and goes 9 yards. So you just change quarterbacks, but you don't change results. North Lincoln has their system, and everybody's buying into it and doing a good job.
Yeah, like I say, East Rutherford still doing what they're trying to do defensively, and that's just to bring up, stack the line of scrimmage and see if they can stop North Lincoln.
Ayers, hands off up the middle. Not much there. Wingate runs into the entire defensive line for East Rutherford, and he'll lose a yard on that play.
Yeah, like I said, one of the bright spots for the Cavaliers has been Spratt for the defensive line on that side of the ball. He's been able to get some penetration, and we kind of mentioned how many negative plays has North Lincoln had so far. That was the second one, and both caused by number 75 Spratt for the Cavaliers.
So 3rd and 2, still short yardage for the Knights. Ayers under center, hands off up the middle, and that offensive line did a nice job there. Enough push to get them out to the 35-yard line. That'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights. And did you see, was that Ayers or was that Wingate that carried that?
I think it might have been number 8.
Oh, Ayers kept it. Okay. So he'll gain 4, and that'll be a first down for the Knights at their own 35-yard line with a running clock. Handoff, well, no handoff. I think. Oh, Wingate did end up with the ball. We couldn't tell because both Ayers and Wingate were hit at the point of exchange.
Yeah, that time,
so I wasn't sure who ended up with it after that.
Yeah,
they were engulfed.
75 and Spratt and number 1 Watkins for the Cavaliers, just shooting right straight through the outside of the A gap again with the guard, the tackle, and stacking the line. But we're already
loss of 1. You got a pitch, and it's going to get to the outside. It's Tim Folk. But nice play there by C.J. Jackson as he comes up and makes the tackle for East Rutherford. And we've called his number quite a bit tonight, and that's an unfortunate thing when your defensive back or your cornerback is making a lot of tackles.
Yeah, we've been saying that North Lincoln, one of their primary plays is to get off tackle, to get wide, use that speed. And, yeah, he's made way too many tackles for the Cavaliers.
So Folk, his first carry of the night, and that's good for 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Knights at their own 38. Donahue, man in motion. Ayers keeps it, tries to work his way through traffic on the right side, and he's going to lose some yardage on that play. And for the first time tonight, North Lincoln will have to punt.
A punt.
First possession they haven't scored on, let alone punted.
Spratt that time gets credit for a sack. He's had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and about 8 tackles. So he's, as we mentioned, one of the bright spots for the Cavaliers.
So McClellan will be back to receive the punt from number 8, Tanner Ayers, the backup quarterback, also the punter. High snap, brings it in. High kick, not real long, but it's down the field a ways. Takes an East Rutherford bounce, and it's down by Brady Brinkus at the 39-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers as they stop North Lincoln for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it looks like North Lincoln's going to start using some of their subs.
Yeah, already have a quarterback.
It's like the same thing on the defensive side.
Flynn, quick pass out in the flat. He's got a receiver. That's McClellan. He breaks through the secondary, down the sideline, 20, 10, touchdown. He's in the end zone. That's going to be a 61-yard touchdown pass. And he's been about the only bright spot of the night offensively for the Cavaliers. So that's a Whitetail Properties touchdown for the Cavaliers. A 61-yard touchdown.
And McClellan just took about a step, maybe possibly two, just turned around, quick pass out. Again, we mentioned North Lincoln's starting to bring in some of their subs. And that time the speed was on McClellan's side as he was virtually untouched on that pass. That obviously his second touchdown reception of the night.
So McClellan, Mr. Everything, is now the holder. Ian Queen on to kick. Snap, hold, and the kick is good. So with 5:23 to go in the third quarter, it's North Lincoln 49, East Rutherford 14. And at this point, with it not being a 42-point margin, does the clock continue to run?
Yes, yeah. Once it starts running, it should continue to run again until the timeout.
Okay.
I've been sort of on that end a couple times in basketball, and so.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's never pleasant.
No.
What's the limit in basketball?
I believe it's about the same. I think it's 40.
40?
Straight 40, not 42, but.
And the concession stand is back in business.
I think a couple times I might have been on the positive side of that, but it's been a while. But, very, very few and far between.
So Ian Queen, who made the tackle on the last return, will kick off as he made the James River Equipment point after touchdown. And it's 49-14. He squibs it down the middle. It's caught by number 6. And he's got a good return. Cole Ellis, I knew we had called him earlier in the night. Cole Ellis with a nice return brings it about a 15-yard return back to the 45-yard line. Clock running, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. And they'll start at their own 45-yard line.
And again, score 49-14. Running clock. Looks like, yeah, subs coming in plenty for North Lincoln.
So, again, Tanner Ayers in at quarterback. Ayers keeps it, goes around the right side, breaks through an opening. He's got the first down and more. He's across the 35, down to the 31-yard line. So gain of 24 on the play, and another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Knights. They just keep racking up the yardage.
And Spratt, who plays defensive tackle, hustled all the way down the field to make that tackle. And he's he's a little winded now. But again, we mentioned his name many times here for the Cavaliers on the defensive side of the ball. Great hustle.
2.5 to go in the third quarter, running clock. North Lincoln taking their time. Ayers goes down the line, pitches it late. He gets it to Wingate. Nice pitch. He's outside, inside the 30, inside the 20, and he's finally brought down at the 12-yard line. That was a really dangerous but successful pitch by Ayers on that play.
Yeah, right decision. I don't think he's definitely not left-handed, because I think he was just basically pushed it. It was almost like a shovel pass type of thing backwards, or a chest pass in basketball. But obviously it worked. Very effective.
And he had defenders around him when he did it too. I was surprised. I thought he would just okay, take the loss. Here we go. But he got it right to Wingate on the fly, and he gains 18. And it's first down for the Knights at the 13-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And it's to Wingate up the middle again. Not much there, but again, a little bit of push for North Lincoln. They get down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, their middle linebacker, Watkins, for the Cavaliers, is basically playing about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. You really don't see, again, the linebackers playing that depth. They're usually 4 to 5 off the line. That way they can get better angles if they try to get wide. That's been part of the problem tonight for the Cavaliers. That's why North Lincoln, obviously early in the first half, been trying to run off tackle, get wide, use their speed. But they need a little bit more depth. You can see him here. He's right behind the defensive tackle.
Handoff again. Now he pulls it back. Ayers keeps it. Looked like he was going to hand it off to Wingate. Pulls it out. Then goes behind Wingate. Gets down inside the 5-yard line to the 3. That should be close to a first down.
I think he's inside.
Now they're saying he's just short of the first down. So it's 3rd and very short.
I couldn't tell where the first down marker was because it was behind the down marker. So
the down marker keeps changing.
Okay, I guess it is a first down.
Okay, it is a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. They cycle through all the numbers on the down marker, so it's like, it's 3rd down. It's first down. It's 3rd again. First down, hand off to Donahue. For the first time tonight, he's actually brought down after a short gain. Or rather, Owen Hammond. I'm sorry. Have I been calling him the wrong number all night? Did I do that again?
Well, I don't think he forgot his jersey like it happened to us a couple weeks ago, but that play was actually made by Watkins on the defensive side for the Cavaliers.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter, and yes, it took exactly 12 minutes. So at the end of 3 quarters, it's North Lincoln 49 and East Rutherford 14. We'll be back with the 4th quarter on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersinn.kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
North Lincoln, the 4th quarter, brought to you by our title sponsor, Bugbusters of Lincolnton. It's just about to get underway. North Lincoln 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line, looking to score again. Handoff is faked. Ayers keeps the ball, and no gain or a very short gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
At that time, it was number 11, McClung, that made the tackle for the Cavaliers. North Lincoln's content. Just take your time, run the clock, get these backup players some experience here. Never know, you may need it down the road.
Yeah, one thing Coach talked about beforehand is depth issues. They're pretty good at the first level, but they need to build something behind that just in case, because they had injuries galore last year. Hopefully it's not as bad this year. So here we go, 3rd down, long pitch. It goes out to number 24, Ernesto Cardenas. Cardenas, excuse me. And that's going to be a loss on that play. It was a long pitch, but the pitch was covered pretty well. Cardenas had a man right in front of him, catches the ball, but loses 5 on the play.
Yeah, that was a little slow developing. Number 5, Rector for the Cavaliers. Shot the gap on the outside here. Looks like he's playing one of the safety positions, but the safeties are only playing about 5-6 yards off the line of scrimmage. We mentioned that earlier, that they've kind of left the middle of the field wide open, but at this point of the game, that was a good read there by Rector for the Cavaliers.
Ayers hands off, keeps it, goes around the right side, steps through a tackle, and he gets into the end zone on 4th down. So another touchdown for the Knights. Touchdowns brought to you by Whitetail Properties of Falston. And they just continue to move the ball, and even on 4th down, Ayers with a nice step through of a tackle and walks to the end zone.
Yeah, again, kind of sums up the night. Brandon Pickerton, East Rutherford, was able to get into the backfield, wrapped him up as best he could, but just basically had him by his shoelace.
And then after the play, you see Pinkerton laying on the field pounding the turf. He knew he had him and let him get away. So Dillingham on for the extra point. Snap, hold, and he pounds it all the way to the track. It's good. So with 9:34 and counting on the scoreboard, North Lincoln 56, East Rutherford 14. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week. This quarter started at 9:08.
This is the makeup game for the East Lincoln Forestry.
Oh, yeah, this is going to get over so quick it isn't funny.
We were still in the first half.
No, we finished the first half.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It was actually about 5 minutes into halftime. Oh, God, that game just dragged. And East could never get far enough ahead to get the clock running. I did a game last year. The second half took 25 minutes. I think it was a West Lincoln game.
This one's going to be close.
This one's going to be tight. Yep, started at 8:53.
Kickoff from number 9, Jake Dillingham. Dillingham will now kick off.
You can practice all his various techniques. Squib kick, pooch kick, long kick. And he's going for the long kick. The 7, McClellan.
Number 11, Blake McClellan on the return.
And yet again, Jake Dillingham getting a lot of work as the kicker tonight. Recruited off the soccer team. He's worked on all of his kicks. Squib kick, pooch kick. That one was a long kick down to the 7, McClellan. About the only offensive weapon the Cavaliers have had all night. Catches it and gets it out to the 31. So a return of 24 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. About 7.5 to go in the game as the clock continues to run. Flynn, quick out to the side. Looks like, and you got a flag from the secondary.
Too many men, yeah. They, again, trying to do some substituting for North Lincoln. Had too many men on the field.
Oh, so it was North Lincoln with too many on the field.
Too many, yeah.
So McClellan with a quick catch along the sideline. He advances it out 7 yards, and we'll wait on the penalty.
There is a flag on the play.
That's a bit holding on us.
And now there's going to be a penalty added to it. What is it going?
Whatever this is. 15 yards.
Ooh, that's a big ball.
That's a big penalty.
I think they called targeting from what I'm
No, he
hearing.
had both hands on the head, so targeting's one hand. So Flynn again to McClellan out on the sideline. Another quick toss and run. It's basically a glorified handoff with these two. So Flynn and McClellan play catch on consecutive plays. One's almost a first down, and so is the second one. They gained 8 yards on each one of, or 9 yards on each one of those.
And we're going back to a different receiver, same sort of play. Number 3 for East Rutherford, C.J. Jackson. That time they kind of faked it to McClellan. He ran up to block and ran 3 on a little loop behind him. Same play to the right side. Quick throw out to the flat.
So a first down for the Cavaliers in Knights territory. Flynn back, throws, looks. He's going down the sideline. He's got a receiver just off the hands of McClellan, right at the pylon. Pretty good coverage there. He was pinned between the defender and the sideline. There wasn't a lot of room to make that catch.
That was good coverage, and that was a pretty darn good throw there by Flynn. I thought for a second there that he had caught it.
So a string of 5 straight completions for East Rutherford is broken on that play. This time they hand off up the middle. Goes to 21, Brandon Pinkerton. And he gains 9 yards on that carry.
23, Zach Hartwell with the tackle. Again, getting some subs in, getting some playing time here.
Please don't stand in walkways. People behind you can't see.
Hand off to Pinkerton up the middle. Good line surge there. He gets down to the 10-yard line. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down on the 8-yard run. Good play right up the middle. That's the first time we've really seen some line surge. By the time he ran into the line, it was 5 yards downfield.
Right, yeah, well, we've seen some subbing from the North Lincoln Knights. But still good to see. There's McClellan again in the flat.
Same play they've run several times. Flynn goes back one step, fires over to McClellan, who's by the sideline, and he tries to evade tacklers and gain yardage. And this time he gains 6 yards on that pass. So 2nd and 3. They can get a first down before they get in the end zone. Hand off to Pinkerton up the middle. He bowls his way in, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Cavaliers.
I wonder if he lost the ball.
So with 4 minutes to go in the game, Garcia scores for the Cavaliers, and it's 56-20. Waiting on the extra point here.
McClellan's catching his breath as he's been the workhorse sort of on this drive. He's also the holder on the point after attempt.
So the James River Equipment point after touchdown. Snap, hold, kick by Queen is up. It's good. So with 3 minutes to go in the ball game, it's 56-21 Knights. We'll be back on the Lincoln County Game of the Week. That'll be the last break.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Queen, the leading tackler for East Rutherford on special teams, also their kicker, has a squib kick down the middle. Cole Ellis goes down on his knees, catches the ball, and falls on it. And North Lincoln will have the ball at the 26-yard line. Just a minute 35 to go in the ball game, and the clock is running, so they might run 2 plays, probably be pretty conservative, and that'll be it.
Yeah, take your time. There's 20 seconds on the play clock. Let that just come down. Make sure you got right personnel, right numbers in.
And they have been good about running the clock as much as they can on each play. Ayers looking around, 7 on the play clock, taking their time. And it's just going to be the victory formation here. Ayers takes a step back, takes a knee. And we're exactly 1 minute to go, so they'll have to do that one more time.
They just walked in.
So loss of 1 on that play. This game's long been over, so the crowd's attention is on the 50-50 drawing, but they almost forgot to do.
Not used to running it so fast.
Well, I've got a timer on this, and that is another kneel down by Ayers, and that will be the final play of the ball game. So as the clock runs out, it's a nice night for North Lincoln Knights fans as North Lincoln goes to 2-1. They'll win 56-21 over East Rutherford. They'll drop to 1-3. Both teams open play next week in their respective conferences. And there's the final horn. We'll be back with a stadium postgame show after this. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com. And like them on Facebook too, Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln. Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com. Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 ride-hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com. Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
There's some big deals going on now at Abbott.
And now it's time for the Stadium Postgame Show, brought to you by Campers Inn of Kings Mountain. And it was another one-sided game, and it got one-sided in a hurry, as North Lincoln with an easy 56-21 victory in a game that wasn't even that close. They just came out and scored and scored and scored.
Well, you said they scored, what, on seven?
First seven
possessions?
Yep.
And we didn't see a punt until the second half, and they had total dominance by North Lincoln. Great job coaching, great job by the players.
So a recap of the game brought to you by Parker Farm Service at Kings Mountain. And as Scott mentioned, the first half, 7 possessions for North Lincoln, 7 touchdowns. First punt was on the first possession of the second half. Tanner Ayers had come in at quarterback, and they didn't move it on the first set of downs, and so Ayers had to drop back and punt. I guess that's the punishment for not getting a first down. You got to go punt. Sorry, son, but that's how it works. So he punts. They go down and score, and I mean it was one score after another. A lot of substitutes in for North Lincoln in the second half. And they did a good job because they were still facing the first offense for East Rutherford.
Right.
And they only gave up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, like you say, East Rutherford pretty much just, kept their starters in the second half, tried to get some kind of momentum for when they start conference play next week. I don't know if, losing the coach for a game got in their heads a little bit, but they came out flat from the get-go, and North Lincoln just dominated right from the opening kickoff.
Yeah, 320 yards offense in the first half, and they did a pretty good job in the second half too, considering you had a running clock the whole time, and I timed it. Second half took 27 minutes, and that was both quarters. Both quarters and the timeout in between to switch ends. Right. So the very quick, you don't get much, and it's understandable. You just don't want teams to get routed.
Right.
I mean, you've seen those scores around the country where somebody gets beat 97-3 or something like that because they don't have a running clock, and you don't want to see that happen because it's just a game.
Right.
And you want to win, but after a while, how much do you need to win by?
Yeah, North Lincoln did a great job. Very sportsmanlike. Took their time calling in the plays. I don't think they even attempted a throw in the second half. Just tried to run it. Obviously, they're subs, so they're going to want to get some yards and do some things. And then, of course, at the end of the game, there was, a minute and a half or so left, and they just took the knee, let the clock run out. Yeah, trying not to run up that score. So that was very sportsmanlike of North Lincoln.
And with North Lincoln, you don't have to throw the ball, and you're still running your offense because they're still running that wing T option kind of offense that they run. So, the kids are getting experience running what they would normally run. So it works out for everybody in that regard. So that's your Parker Farm Service recap of the game. So time now for some awards. And to start that off with the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Yeah, we thought that Tanner Ayers came in there and, like I said, was pretty much a lot of the subs for North Lincoln in the second half, but ran that offense for North Lincoln. As you mentioned, just ran basically the same offense. We never know if they're ever going to have to come in as a sub in a critical game. So it was good for them to get some of that experience, and Tanner Ayers did a great job. Was able to run offense and then was able to break a tackle to our right in the fourth quarter and score a touchdown. So he was our sub of the game from Subway of Boger City.
And next up will be the offensive player of the game. That's brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company, also of Lincolnton.
Yeah, it could have been a few different players for North.
Oh, yeah,
Lincoln.
definitely.
But, like you say, when, Owen Hammond did a great job coming in, ran the ball 4 times for 82 yards, scored 3 total touchdowns, and, had 2 of those receiving and then the 1 running. So he was a little bit of that jack of all trades sort of player for North Lincoln. But like I said, the offense was just clicking on so many different levels. It was tough to come up with that, but Owen Hammond did a great job for North Lincoln.
And just to mention, Shannon Wingate did a good job inside as well. There's only so many awards, but there were so many good players for North Lincoln tonight. He had 16 carries for over 100 yards. 102 is what I've got unofficially. So, again, Owen Hammond does a great job, and now you've got Shannon Wingate doing a good job. It's a total team effort. They spread the ball around, and everybody produced tonight. So that's your offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company. And next up is the defensive player of the game, and that's sponsored by Triad Corrugated Metals of Lincolnton.
Yeah, we called this name all night. We thought, both sides of the ball. We know that, Ryan Bassani did a great job for North Lincoln, but it just seemed like any time that a big play was made by the Cavaliers of East Rutherford, that Liston Spratt just did a great job coming in, had a sack. When there was a negative play other than the kneel downs at the end, he had the 2 tackles for loss. had 7 solo tackles, and I remember one of the tackles that he made, he ran the guy down about 35, maybe 40 yards, right, all the way, and so he was hustling all night, never quit, and also had 2 assisted tackles. So listen, Spratt, was kind of all over the field as a defensive tackle for the Cavaliers tonight, so great job from him.
And that was that 24-yard run by Tanner Ayers, and Spratt lines up on the near sideline, and Ayers took it around away from him, and he still angled all the way over and brought Ayers down. So that was very impressive for a defensive tackle to get range that far over to make a play. So Spratt is our defensive player of the game, and that's sponsored by Triad Corrugated Metals of Lincolnton. And that brings us to our final award, the overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
Yeah, like you say, you got to have somebody special under center. A lot of times here in high school, and Eli Seip for North Lincoln did a fantastic job running the offense. Running sort of that option. Had 6 carries for 82 yards, and then was perfect passing, 4 of 4 for 2 touchdowns and 74 yards. But he made a lot of great decisions, when to pull it, when to pitch it. Made great throws down the field. Receivers a lot of times caught it in stride. Were able to just walk in the end zone again. We were kind of trying to figure out East Rutherford's scheme defensively, really stacking that line. But they had great break play calls, and Eli Seip, again, great decision making. Was able to just pick apart, make good decisions, run that offense very effectively. And so he's our Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton overall player of the game. Great job by him.
So Eli Seip wins our overall player of the game award, and that wraps up the awards for tonight and about wraps it up from here. Next week we will be in Hickory. East Lincoln will open defense of their Western Foothills 3A conference title as they go to visit the Red Tornadoes of Hickory, and we'll have that game for you next week on all the usual outlets, KTC Broadcasting.com and the LincolnCounty.com and the YouTube channels that go with each of those. So for Scott Tudor, this is Dave Potter. Thank you to JP and Kevin back in the studio for running the commercials and getting things going. We thank you for joining us on the Lincoln County Game of the Week. The final score, North Lincoln 56, East Rutherford 21. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at AbernathyChevrolet.com. Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.